Welcome to Monday Night Raw, yeah! And tonight we got a WCW invasion. The NWO, WCW has invaded Monday Night Raw. What the hell are you guys doing here? You are all future endeavors. I fired each and every one of you. And look, it's in the rafters of Sting. Look at Sting looking down upon my WWF superstars as they challenge for the Monday night ratings. So yeah, this is my idea of WCW invasion, and if it would have happened in 1998, it would have looked a little something like this, because I'm sure it would have been more, you know, of the top tier WCW stars at the time, and it's just too bad that WF and WCW didn't have a cross promotion and initiated some type of invasion back then in 1998 when everything was hot. Wow, imagine this scene on a Monday Night Raw. This would have been sick. You know how much of a riot the fans would have been going through? It's crazy how times changed. Wrestling is so watered down now, and I mean, compared to back then, shit, the fans were like, every Monday night was like a Super Bowl. Like every Monday night, fans were wild. So I put this together because I wasn't really, I don't think many of us really appreciated the actual invasion that occurred in 2001 with WCW going under. And so yeah, this is, like, check them out. This is the NWO, Diamond Dallas Page, Bret Hart. See, they're facing against some of WWF's top stars at the time. That would be Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Triple H, DX leader, The Rock, who's sporting the Attitude Era title. There's Undertaker and Kane looking up on Sting. Wow, this would have been crazy. Like, I set this up with the intention of kind of recreating the past Monday Night Wars, and I felt like if this was to really happen, like if they had WCW stars invading Monday Night Raw, especially with the NWO at the time, it would have made sense that Vince McMahon would have made a storyline where he was behind the whole concept all along. Now, if they had that agreement, if they had some type of collaboration, the WF and WCW at the time, that would have been a major wrestling plot on top of everything that was going on at the time. So it's crazy because, you know, I'm to this day, I'm a wrestling fan. I don't watch as frequently, but I keep up to date with it. I know that Drew McIntyre is the current WWE champion and all that. I know, like, you could quiz me on the current events and I'll answer your questions. My only thing is that nothing beats from, you know, I think when wrestling went downhill, and, you know, it's all pretty much subjective, but to me, it went downhill around 2005-ish, 6. I know I'm wrong, because I think it was around 2010 that I really stopped caring. But there was still, well, actually in 2010, Bret Hart returned, so that's wrong. I really cared when he did return. But yeah, it fell off after a while, and it's just, you know, I really appreciate the sport. I consider wrestling a sport. These guys are athletes. They bust their ass. You shouldn't undermine them because you think, oh, you know, it's fake, it's predetermined. No, these guys live short lives, most of them. They put a lot of work in, and I appreciate what they do, you know. So, but going back to this setup here, wow, this is pretty cool, right? I got the rafters set up, the NWO. You gotta check out my channel. I got many reviews on these figures, but this one today, this is the perspective of the WCW. As you just saw, the perspective of the WWF, and it's pretty cool stuff there. I am missing Goldberg. Honestly, if they did run a storyline of WCW invading, no, if they ran a storyline of WCW invading Monday Night Raw, I don't think they would use WCW faces. I think they would use the more heel side of WCW and gradually bring upon, you know, the rest of the WCW crew, you know, the faces, the big names. And wow, I wish I could do like a figure-fed storyline and kind of do something with this, because I'm sure everybody has their own way, their own idea of how WCW should have invaded WWF. And you know, mine is it had to have been 1998. 1998 was the hottest peak year of the Monday Night Wars. And if you were gonna do a collaboration between the two territories, the two companies, that would have been the time. That would have been, forget it. People would have went crazy. And imagine if NWO, along with, you know, DDP, he was kind of a neutral, not a good guy, not a bad guy. He was kind of like a tweener, if I remember correctly. But he sided with WCW. But if they had to agree upon taking over the Monday night ratings, they would work together, NWO and the WCW. I would put it where in the storyline, you know, it seems like WCW is just trying to outshine WWF in the ratings, you know, so they invade WWF programming. You know, Monday Night Raw at the time was the only big WWF program. I think they had Shotgun Saturday Night. They had different programs back then, but there was no SmackDown. So I think what they should have done, or what they should have done was get the NWO started. You know, have the NWO show up on Monday Night Raw. And then Vince McMahon, like my opening, he would say something like, "Oh, you guys are all future endeavors, and I fired every one of you. You guys don't belong here. This isn't your show. This is my show. I run Monday Night Raw." Meanwhile, these guys are just beating up the WWF superstars on the roster at the time. Then you get DDP, and then DDP would make the announcement that they're not there to